Okay, today we're going to make a character or ellipse move around on screen with key inputs. So we'll start off by making some global variables. So the first variable will be float x. Float x is going to be the x position of the ellipse that we will use to be the character. Next we will have float y. And the same with the y will be the y value of the character. Next we will have the speed, which will also be a float. And we will just, for the time being, make this 2. We will start with void setup. And inside the setup we will have the screen size. And for now we will just make it 500 by 500. Next we will do void draw, which will draw all shapes and backgrounds that we have on screen. For now we will have a background, and we will make a black background, which will be 0. And at a later stage we will have a display in here, so we'll just remind ourselves by putting a comment in here. So next we will actually set up the display. So we make a display method, and inside here we will have the color, which will be fill, of the character or ellipse. This can be changed at a later stage, but for now we'll just make a green with green ellipse. Usually characters are made out to be green and enemies red, but for now we'll just have the green. So next we will have the ellipse. So inside here will be the x and y values that we made up, x and y, and we will also have the radius, so basically the size of the ellipse. So we will give it a size 50 and 50. I think that is all we'll put so far into this display, and then next we can put in void key pressed. So key pressed is a function that is already made up inside of processing. It's a built-in function, and it is camel cased, so lower k and higher case p of if, and we'll open and close the brackets. So inside these parentheses we will have the rules basically to initialize this if statement. So if key is equal to, and we'll use cars to put the letters of the keyboard inside, so we will go with up. So usually up would be W, and you can also put in more rules basically. So what we will do is, we'll do this at a later stage, we will box in the character so he cannot go off screen. So in here we will have W, so that W is up, so that affects the Y. So we will put in here Y minus speed. Down further we'll have another if, open and close brackets. So we will do the opposite. So we will do the down key, which would usually be S. So key equals, we must do the double equals for is equal to, and we will make that S inside cars. So this also affects the Y. So Y equal to Y, and we will go plus speed. Another if. So this time we will have if key is equal to, this time we will go left, which is A, open and close brackets. So we want to affect the X this time. So X is equal to X, and we going left would be a minus on the X value, so we'll go minus speed. And once again, for the last if statement, we will have if key is equal to, and this time we will be going right, so right is D. Again inside the cars, and we will open and close brackets. So X is equal to X plus speed. So if we give this a try, the character should be moving, or not, because we haven't called is display, and that is how we will call this method. So now we should display the ellipse on screen and move. So I'm pressing W for up, pressing S for down, A for left, and D for right. So far the character can go off screen. So how we can stop the character from going off screen is if we add to these if statements. So how we add on to these, so we need to say if key W is pressed and, so we need to say if W is pressed and the Y axis of the character is greater than, so the ellipse, as you can see here, is 50, so if it's greater than 25, so it will not go off screen and it'll just touch it. And again down here we can go and the Y is less than, and this time we can say height. So if the key S is pressed and the Y of the character is less than the height, then it will move down. Again, we can do it. And so this time it's going left. So the very start position of the screen starts at 0 on the X value. So we can say is if the X is greater than 25, as it is half the diameter. And again down here, so D would be going right, and so if D is pressed and the X value is less than width